Have you ever wondered how many civilizations vanished without leaving a trace? In the heart of a forgotten desert, satellite scans revealed something impossible beneath the sand. At first, researchers believed it was just another geological anomaly. But as the images became clearer, a disturbing pattern emerged. Massive geometric structures, long straight walls, foundations stretching for miles beneath the dunes. What appeared to be an entire city buried by time itself. And not just any city. One larger than many ancient capitals we know today. The question was simple. Who built it? The answer would change everything. The excavation began with modest expectations. Researchers hoped to uncover fragments of ancient settlements. Instead, they found enormous stone foundations buried deep beneath the desert floor. The scale was immediately surprising. These were not isolated structures. They appeared to be part of a carefully planned urban complex. Roadways, walls, public spaces. Evidence of organized construction on a massive scale. With every layer of sand removed, the mystery deepened. Because nothing in the accepted historical record seemed to explain who these people were, or why they had disappeared. And then, an even stranger discovery emerged from the dust. While cleaning a weathered stone surface, archaeologists noticed unusual markings. At first glance, they looked like ordinary carvings. But closer examination revealed something unexpected. The symbols did not match any known writing system from the region. Their patterns were precise, structured, almost mathematical in appearance. Experts compared them with dozens of ancient scripts. None were a match. The inscription appeared to belong to a culture that history had never recorded. A civilization without a name, without a known language, without a place in our history books. And what lay beyond those inscriptions would raise even more questions. Hidden beneath layers of stone and sand, archaeologists uncovered an entrance. The passage had remained sealed for centuries, perhaps even millennia. Carefully, the team removed the final barrier. As the chamber opened, silence fell across the site. The room appeared untouched. Dust covered every surface. Artifacts remained exactly where they had been left. It was a rare moment in archaeology, a place frozen in time, a direct connection to people who had vanished long ago. But among the objects inside, one discovery immediately captured everyone's attention. And no one could explain how it got there. At the center of the chamber rested a carefully preserved object. It was unlike anything else recovered from the site. Its design was unusual. Its craftsmanship remarkably precise. Researchers documented every detail. Samples were collected. Tests were performed. Yet the results raised more questions than answers. Some specialists argued it represented an advanced level of engineering for its era. Others believed it belonged to a completely unknown cultural tradition. Whatever the truth was, this object challenged long-held assumptions about the people who built this place. And it forced researchers to reconsider everything they thought they knew. As evidence accumulated, a larger picture began to emerge. Ancient maps, trade routes, architectural similarities, fragments of records scattered across distant regions. Together, they suggested something extraordinary. These ruins may not have belonged to an isolated settlement. They may have been part of a much larger civilization, one connected across vast territories, one capable of organizing large populations and major construction projects. Yet somehow, its story never made it into the historical narrative most people learn today. Whether forgotten by time or lost through catastrophe, its existence raised a troubling possibility. What if entire chapters of human history are still missing? And the next discovery would make that possibility even harder to ignore. The deeper researchers looked, the stranger the story became. Far from the excavation site, forgotten references began to surface. Ancient chronicles, travel accounts, fragments of manuscripts preserved in distant archives. Individually, they seemed insignificant. But together, they painted a remarkable picture. Multiple cultures appeared to describe the same civilization, a powerful society that existed long before many of the civilizations we recognize today. Yet something was missing. The details were fragmented. Names had vanished. Entire sections appeared to have been lost over time, or removed. The question was becoming impossible to ignore. How could something so significant disappear so completely? And then came the evidence that challenged everything. The next phase focused on scientific analysis. Samples from the site were sent to multiple laboratories. Researchers expected the results to confirm existing theories. Instead, they encountered a problem. The dates consistently pointed to a much earlier period. Again and again. Different tests. Different methods. Similar conclusions. If the findings were accurate, the structures predated many of the civilizations traditionally considered among the oldest. The implications were enormous, because history relies on timelines, and timelines rely on evidence. Now that evidence seemed to be telling a very different story, a story that few people were prepared to accept. He battled over the past. Not everyone agreed with the interpretation of the findings. Some experts urged caution. Others argued the evidence deserved serious attention. The debate quickly expanded beyond the excavation site. Academic institutions became involved. Research papers were challenged. New analyses were commissioned. For some, the discovery represented an exciting opportunity to learn more about the past. For others, it threatened long-established assumptions. The disagreement was no longer about a single archaeological site. It had become a debate about how history itself should be understood. And while the arguments continued, another mystery was beginning to emerge. What caused this civilization to disappear? The forgotten collapse. Every civilization faces challenges, but some face events so devastating that recovery becomes impossible. Evidence from the site suggested a dramatic environmental shift. Dry riverbeds, abandoned structures, signs of sudden disruption. Researchers began exploring several possibilities: severe drought, climate instability, regional flooding, natural disasters occurring over generations. Whatever happened, it changed the landscape forever. Communities vanished. Trade networks collapsed. Cities were abandoned. And over time, the desert reclaimed everything. Almost everything. Because one final clue was waiting beneath the surface. The final message. Deep inside a protected chamber, archaeologists discovered a remarkable inscription. Unlike many of the artifacts recovered earlier, this one appeared intentionally preserved. The symbols covered an entire stone surface, carefully arranged, meticulously carved. Researchers spent months studying its meaning. What they found was unexpected. The inscription seemed to describe a period of profound change, a society facing uncertainty, leaders confronting challenges beyond their control, communities struggling to adapt to a changing world. Across thousands of years, the message felt strangely familiar. A reminder that every civilization, no matter how powerful, remains vulnerable to forces it cannot fully predict. And perhaps that was the lesson they wanted future generations to remember. The threat's still buried. Today, the excavation continues. New discoveries are made every year. New questions emerge with every answer. The ruins remain silent, but the evidence speaks for itself. Beneath deserts, forests, mountains, and oceans, countless chapters of human history may still be waiting to be uncovered. Some discoveries confirm what we already know. Others force us to reconsider long-held assumptions. That is the power of archaeology. Not to rewrite history without evidence, but to follow the evidence wherever it leads. And sometimes, that journey reveals a past far more complex than we ever imagined. Now it's your turn. What discovery in this investigation surprised you the most? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you're fascinated by the mysteries of ancient civilizations, forgotten cultures, and unexplained discoveries, subscribe and join us for the next investigation. Because somewhere beneath the surface, another piece of the story is still waiting to be found. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the greatest mysteries aren't fiction, they're buried in our past. See you in the next video.